Okay, well, one reason you might not want to do it is if your write traffic is significantly greater than your read traffic. You can overwhelm the secondary. Because remember, every write goes to the primary, it also winds up going to the secondary because the secondary is replicating the write. So if you send a whole bunch of traffic to that secondary, you could overwhelm it. Now, the second one I did talk about in the lesson, which is that you lose the strong consistency, you're now going to be eventually consistent. So you may not read what you just wrote to MongoDB, which can be very frustrating as a programmer. The third is that if the secondary hardware has less memory and can't keep the read working set in memory, then you could slow it down a lot, and you could slow it down so much that it falls out of sync with the primary. Now, this is not as uncommon as you think, because some people think they're never going to fail over, and they have really beefy primaries and kind of weak secondaries, and they assume that the secondaries aren't going to get used a lot, and then later on they decide to share the load and start putting the reads to the secondaries. And then eventually they wind up in a situation where they push the secondary across a line where it can't keep up with the primary. The last one is not a problem for reads from secondaries. It says reading from a secondary prevents it from being promoted to primary. Yeah, that's not true at all.